Hello, salam, and welcome to this video. If you are new to this channel, then my name is Ellie and welcome. So I became a Muslim just a couple of weeks ago, and I've been learning about Islam for the last 6 months or so. And for the majority of that time, I have been praying. I was praying before I became a Muslim. For me, prayer was a really important part of learning about the religion, and definitely something that really made me want to learn about the religion more. If you do want to listen to my full journey into Islam, then I have a nice chunky 20-minute video on that, and I will link that above for you. But today I want to give you my experience of how I learned to pray. Now this isn't a "this is how you definitely learn to pray" video, because everyone's experience is going to be slightly different. But I wanted to share it because maybe you'll pick up on a few little things that I've done. I think I've done a few like handy little things that will hopefully help you in your prayer practice if you are becoming a Muslim or you have just become a Muslim. And if you are watching this and you are Muslim already then and you know how to pray, then thank you for clicking onto it, and hopefully this video will just show you how lucky you are to perhaps have been born speaking Arabic or with people around you teaching you how to pray. Because for myself, I come from a family with no Muslims. I've recently got some Muslim friends, but that's only really from me looking into the religion and from traveling. I did not know any Arabic until recently. I knew nothing about Islam. So this is where I'm coming from in this, in how I learned to pray from literally knowing like nothing. I also learned very much on my own because it was during the COVID time. So hopefully, yeah, I can give you some really good tips. Now in terms of, like how do you know how to pray? So for me, it was going to the mosque. Now again, because COVID has been happening, the mosques were closed during the period I was learning about Islam. I finally managed to go to a mosque a couple of weeks ago, and for me, I just really wanted to be able to do all of the moves and just know what I was doing, really, and I did. I can also recite the prayer in my head fully without any paper, which I'll go into later if that's how I learnt, in front of me. I still can't say it out loud confidently because my Arabic is just really terrible, even though I am learning. But in my head I can, I know it, and again, that for me is like, wow, okay, I think I know how to pray. So how did I do it? So the first step I did was to download the Muslim Pro app, and I set up a reminder just to come up on my phone, a notification, so I at least knew when all 5 prayers were. Now, as I'll explain as I get into this video, I did not just go straight in with doing all 5 prayers. But I think it was handy for me just to get the notification to just get an idea of when those 5 prayers come in. And now that's definitely helped me a few months later down the line. Now I am a Muslim and I am really trying to fit all of those 5 prayers in. So in order to learn how to pray, I literally typed into YouTube how to pray as a Muslim, and the channel that came up the most was a channel that's called One for Kids, and it is videos for kids on how to pray. They have a video that is 2 rakat, 3 rakat and 4 rakat. Obviously at the time, this was back in March when I was very in the new stages of praying, I had no idea what a rakat meant. And I'm not going to go into this kind of thing in this video. But basically at the start, I just started doing the 2 rakat because it was obviously the shortest one. And I think with most of the stuff with me with Islam, to be honest, and definitely with the prayer, is I really haven't been too strict on myself. I was very aware that I was coming into Islam from knowing nothing, not having a prayer practice before, and I didn't want to overwhelm myself, and I really didn't. And many people may say like, oh, you should have, you were doing it wrong. And yes, I was doing a lot of it wrong, but that has brought me to where I am now when I'm, again, I don't want to say I'm doing it right, because I don't know if anyone's ever doing anything right, but I'm really trying my hardest. So anyway, so I started off with the 2 rakat. Now, one for kids, I would definitely recommend their channel, because the main way that I learnt the prayer was through it being like a song. So it's kind of sung on this channel. And at first I thought, how am I going to learn this prayer? I mean, I have no idea even what it is. But by learning it in the format of a song, you know, you think about how many songs we all know, we catch on to them really quickly, and that really helped for me. However, I have come across another YouTube channel recently, which I actually think is a little bit better, mainly because it's not aimed at children, and the way that they say the prayer is even more clear, to be honest, and that's through the SALAT app. So you can go onto that, you can go onto the prayer that you're about to do, and then you can click on the little video icon in the corner, and then it takes you to a YouTube video. So I would recommend doing that if you are completely new to prayer and want to find a really good YouTube video. The second thing I did was to look up the words. So I found a website that was from a masjid in Canada. I will link all of these below, by the way. And what I did is I wrote out the prayer in Arabic in a notebook, and then I also wrote it out in English. I think it's really important for us as English speakers, or no matter where your first language is to know what it is in your first language, just because, yeah, otherwise you really don't know what you're saying. Now, this website was also really good to help work out the moves, because there's one thing learning the words, but then there's the other thing of learning how to move, what to do, when to bend, when to prostrate. And so this website kind of did tell you how to do the moves as to which part. However, I did also use the video in order to do that. I kind of had the video up, and I would then kind of just keep looking up at the video to know what to do, and then do it. And again, that was very much just a case of just having to practice it. That was something I was very worried about then, because I was praying on my own. I was like, maybe I'm not even doing this correctly. But like I said, when I went to the mosque, alhamdulillah, I did know what to do. So I guess it does work from just watching a video and copying. Now, later on down the line, I actually found an even better website, and this has it in English one side and Arabic on the other side. Now, I'm going to link this below as well. And what I would recommend doing, this is what I did, is to have the printout in front of you, whether it's on your notepad from what you've written down, which I did for a long time. Now I use the printout at the top of my prayer mat. And I basically do read the prayer pretty much every single time that I pray. And that is okay. I have been told, yeah, you are allowed paper and stuff around you when you pray. And even if it's kind of not allowed, to be honest, I don't know how else you would learn at the start. So I think that's okay. That's what I did, and it definitely helped me. Now, in terms of using the video, when I started praying, I was only praying kind of once a day, then twice a day, then 3 times. I really built it up, and I did use the video every single time. And that really helped me, because it's really put the song in my head. I mean, I hear myself like singing this song in my head, and I'm like, oh wow, I'm literally just singing the prayer song in my head all the time. And so after a few months, I did stop using the video, and then I tried to memorize it more myself and say it myself from using the paper. And then slowly I started to learn it without the paper. Now, this does not mean that I know the prayer completely off by heart. And like I said, I can't really say it out loud. But there were certain parts of the prayer that I knew more than others. And I would kind of skip over the little bits that I didn't know. And now in time, I've kind of made myself, right, sit down and let's say this over and over again to really get it into my head. I would definitely just say, you know, in terms of my experience of learning to pray, it's just a constant practice. There are bits that you're just not going to get right. It is Arabic. As someone that's never spoken Arabic before, it is so difficult. So I kind of just did what I could, and now that I am a Muslim, and now that I have kind of got this accountability of being a Muslim, I am really trying to focus on the bits that I wasn't doing as well before to make them much better. But I am really pleased that I didn't pressurize myself at the start of doing every prayer, of doing every rakat, of just knowing it all, because that is impossible. Now, the more I'm learning, the more I'm realizing, like, oh wow, the prayer has totally even more to it than I even thought. So some of the prayers have additional rakat to them. Some of them you can put extra surahs in, and I'm going to be completely honest, that's not something I am at right now at all. And again, I think that is totally fine. I have just been, as I've been like striving to do all 5 prayers, I have just been doing the mandatory rakat, and I really haven't learned any other surahs to know how to say those myself. I'm very much doing kind of just like the standard mandatory prayer. But this is what is so great. This is why I've loved learning about Islam so much, is because it is just a constant learning practice. When you think you kind of know a little bit more, you realize like, oh wow, there's loads more to it. But I think the main thing is just not to get overwhelmed by that. Don't try to be there when you are back here. Just do what you can do, and with enough practice and with enough learning, you will get there. I'm very, very grateful that I kind of was very much eased into all of this, and I'm very happy with what I know now, and I'm very happy to keep learning. If you are in this position, you're learning to pray, you're really not too sure what to do, I hope my experience, my very honest experience as well, I wanted to be completely honest, has helped you. Do let me know in the comments if it has. If you've got any other tips, I'm definitely still learning, so I would love to hear from you. And if you have tips for other people in the community watching this, I'm sure they will be appreciated. Make sure to give this video a like, and also hit subscribe for more content around these kind of topics. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.